I want to let y'all know, I don't remember if I'm correct or not, but that first half of this episode was filler. If I remember correctly, in the manga chapter, when we saw this part, in the manga, we never got to see the events that actually led up to, get to see Brook, Chopper, Momo, and Nami all into abstract-looking type art form, whatever it looks like. I don't remember this part exactly in the manga, how the ship got turned into what it did, so either way, I felt like this first half was filler, but I could be incorrect. But besides that, this episode overall was a very good episode. It actually had a lot of development, had some parts I was kind of about, but it was still a badass episode of One Piece. For instance, that weird art style. Oh my god. Okay, so did anyone else not get the reference Oda tried to make with Brook when he had his face like this? That looked exactly like the screaming picture painting in a museum. I forget the name of it, but whatever it was, that was exact replica almost of that screaming painting that Brook was portrayed as, and that was really fucking badass in this episode. I also like the freaking just the camera pan shot of freaking Nami when she realizes her breasts are gone. I'm like, are you kidding me? It was just so freaking funny the way it was shown, and just Nami's like, ah! And then her face looks all freaking weird, and then Chopper, oh my god, Chopper just fucking like square nose now, just looks so amazing. And then you got freaking Momo, looks like he has a butt head. Just overall, a funny episode. The first half was definitely downright fucking funny, just getting to see all these different looks and art styles that I guess Oda tried to portray, and the animators did a good job at it. I want to be honest, they did. So overall, this was a good, episode. It actually progressed well. I mean, we get to see one scene, we get to see what's going on the Sunny Go, we also get to see what's going on in the tournament. For instance, we get to find some form of connection out between Riki and Rebecca, so really interesting. We get to see, like, it looks like a flashback. We see that Riki is looking back into the past, and all of a sudden, we see how Rebecca's younger and he's looking at her. Just really interesting. I like the type of, I guess, character interaction right there, how they somehow have some form of connection. Either way, I like that scene. It was definitely portrayed well, and I like the atmosphere around these scenes. Later half of this chapter was the real events that was going on. For instance, we see Lucy once again riding Uzi. That was fucking hilarious. He's just riding a fucking bull on the gladiator tournament floor. He's just charging for everybody, and then we see this freaking giant introduced. The fucking giant. Oh my god, it looks so freaking amazing. The way the giant looked, all of a sudden, the giant, pounding people, just destroying them. And then, freaking, we got Uzi hit the giant on the side. And then the giant just smashes down to Uzi and Lucy. And then you see the giant walk away like he's all badass. Like, oh, but yeah, I'm a fucking badass. I'm a giant. And then the freaking Lucy gets up and just, like, goes freaking second gear, okay? He looks at Uzi, he's like, I'm sorry. Badass straw hat music plays. It's like, boom, right in the freaking giant's face. And you see the giant topple. That was a fucking epic ending. I kind of upset we didn't get to see the continuation of Law, Fujitora, and Dolphy, but that is fine. I'm glad we're having some form of progress in this tournament. So overall, I can say that this episode was fine. It was a good episode. I enjoyed it for the most part, as a standard One Piece episode should, so I guess it did its job there, and a lot of progression. Oh, actually, this entire scene at the beginning, like I talked about, most likely it's filler. Even if it is filler, let's just say this, I like that they put this in, because it actually has more depth and backstory to this entire scene. Because if I remember in the manga chapter, there was not really any actual backstory to how this girl even got onto the ship. For instance, how the fuck did she get on the ship and how she turned everybody into these abstract arts. We actually get to see this devil fruit powers like a fucking cloud that turns people into art. So, whatever now, I'm glad they showed this, even if it was filler and it was badass. And tell me your thoughts. Did you like this episode? Did you hate this episode? What was your favorite moments about it? Everybody, I love you so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.